Everyone, Phi Farley here. It's week 9 of the college football season, and I have got a handful of games to get to, quite a bit of information to get to, so I'm going to get right into it in 1 second. I also have one FCS play. If you can get that on an offshore book, or if you're at the Westgate, you can play FCS schools. I haven't lost in any of those. I have some insight that I'm going to share with you. If you can get one of those plays in, I would highly recommend doing so. The lines aren't even out yet, but I just have some insight. I'm going to throw it out there for you here as well as a couple West Coast games. 3 of my 5 are West Coast games. I've done very well on that side of it as well. So that said, before I get into it, let me say thank you to subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. That's why I do this. It's all free content, no hidden plays, no other websites to send you to, just straight up picks that I've done all season long. Feel free to follow along, support that, support those kinds of individuals out there, getting good content out and encouraging some commentary along the way. So, all right, let's get into the plays. So week 9, we have got a lot of games to pick from. If we can pull aside a couple good lines, I think we'll have a profitable weekend. So here's one that I really like. It's San Jose State at home going against UNLV. I think San Jose State's a superior team. They're in a great spot. Of course, they want to get that monkey off their back, get their first win. They're 0-7. They're going to be at home. UNLV is absolutely awful. San Jose State's had a pretty tough schedule. They've played well through that schedule. Here's what they are. They are not that great. They have a hard time getting the ball in the end zone, but they have some really good athletes. These athletes sometimes can play well at times. They can get turnovers on defense. Their defense has played not bad, but they just can't seem to score and get their act together and score a lot of points on offense. Now they're playing an absolutely garbage team at home in UNLV. I think they win this one, and they win it by 10. So I will lay the 3 with San Jose State getting the job done against UNLV. All right, now we're going to SEC. We're going to talk some big boys here. Texas A&M, Mississippi State. Total is set at 43.5. Mississippi State in 4 SEC games is yet to go over that total of 43.5. I don't think Texas A&M is going to be the team to push it over that 43.5 either. Texas A&M is split 2-2 on totals going over and under. Kentucky has held them under. I think this is going to be very similar to that Kentucky game, which had a total of 34 when all was said and done. I think this one will land right about that 34 mark as well. I'll push it 34-37, which will leave me about a score left to push that 43.5 number. So I'm going to go under the total, 43.5, Texas A&M, Mississippi State. All right, let me get one more pick in, and then I'm going to actually 2 more picks here, and then I'm going to talk about 2 other potential plays if the lines get there and that FCS play. So next play, nightcap, Nevada +3. So I just like this spot. I always like taking games in isolation and looking at the underdog and seeing if that's a good spot for them. And here we have Nevada, great spot for them. Going against San Diego State, getting their team back on the map. Nevada played really well against Boise State. They've started to look sharp, and they're playing respectable football. They got San Diego State at home. It's +3. I'm going to take Nevada here in this one to get the win outright against San Diego State, but I'll lay the 3. One other game I want to take before I get into this FCS game is Uconn at home. Uconn going against just had a brain for UMass. They're going against UMass. Sorry. I actually have a lot to say about this one. So Uconn is not good. Let's be honest. They're not good. But they've also had a really difficult schedule. So they've had 3 home games. Cincinnati, who was undefeated at the time. UCF, who's also undefeated right now. At the time, they probably won 15 straight games. What are they up to now? 19, 20 straight games. And then the other one was Rhode Island, who they beat. So that was their one win on the season. Outside of that, they played USF, who's also undefeated. They played Memphis, who's a really good team. Syracuse, a really good team. Boise State, who's a really good team. They got crushed by UCF. They got crushed by Boise State. However, played pretty good football against USF. 2 straight games on the road. Now they're coming back home and they're getting UMass. This is probably their most winnable game for the rest of this season. I think this one's circled. I think it's a game that they should win. Meanwhile, UMass has not really played that well to almost anyone. I don't think UMass really should be hanging in this one. I don't think they should be laying 6, that's for sure. It's been bet down to 4.5. I'm going to take Uconn at home +4.5 in this game. So I can't believe I'm saying that. Give me the Huskies, though, plus 4.5. All right, last game I have, and this is actually, last two are if you can get the line at it. First one is Washington State with Minshew at quarterback at plus 3.5. If you can get it to plus 3.5, I would take it there. If you get a plus 3, I would even take plus 3. Right now it's at plus 2.5 against Stanford. Couple reasons why I like it. If it's at plus 3.5, I think we have a potential of a backdoor cover. I think it's going to be a one-score game. If you look through all the predictions they had on ESPN, not a single person who chose Stanford gave them more than 3 points. Not a single one. All those that took WSU had it over a 3-point game, but none of them took Stanford by more than 3. If they do, they think they're going to inch this one out. So every point is valuable here. It's almost like an NFL game. Also, we have a high-powered offense on the Washington State side that throws the ball constantly. So even at the end of the game, if they're close, they're going to go down and get that last score. So every half point matters. If you can get it at 3.5, love it. If you can get it at 3, like it. If you can get it at 2.5, I don't know. That's up to you. But I like that Washington State line. I like that game. I don't think actually you'll get it at 3 at this point, or 3.5. But just want to point that out there. I think it's one worth watching. All right, last thing I have is the FCS game. Eastern Washington University is hosting University of Idaho. I think this line will probably be in the 20s, probably mid-20s, minus 24.5 maybe for Eastern Washington. Might even be as high as minus 28.5 for Eastern Washington. I don't think they're going to give them much favors. It's no secret that Eastern is very good and University of Idaho is very bad. That said, I'm still going, if it's anything under 30, I'm going to be taking Eastern Washington here. They are going to be pounding the football against Idaho. Again, similar to Idaho, if you've checked out my other videos, feel free to check them out on University of Idaho. They've dropped down from FBS to FCS. They've lost scholarships. They've lost athletes thanks to their coach. Coaches or players are transferring, including going up to Eastern, including going to Idaho State. That's why I took Idaho State big in that game, of which Idaho State completely destroyed Idaho. I don't think we're going to have much difference here in this Eastern game. Eastern's off a bye. They just came off a loss the weekend before that, which was kind of a fluke. They should not have lost that game. And now they have to win all the way. The rest of the season, they have to win out. They're going to be motivated, and they're going to come out, and they're going to destroy the Vandals. It's also homecoming week out at Eastern Washington. So if you can get a line on that one, check it out. Eastern Washington, anything under minus 30, I would make it a play. So I would imagine, again, 24.5 to 28.5 will probably be the line there. So I'll be laying the points in that one. All right. There you go. There's my picks, everyone. Feel free to comment down below if you have any discussion or if you oppose. I'd be curious to hear that. Good luck, everyone, this weekend. I'll see you again soon.